Curriculum Improvement Plan, combining 6th grade English Language Arts and Social Studies standards at Athens Intermediate School. Presentation by Lori and Charles. The goal of my curriculum improvement plan is to develop a 6th grade ELA curriculum that includes the best aspects of previously used curricula and also includes 6th grade social studies standards. Over the past few years, our 6th grade ELA teachers have used several curricula to try to teach the standards to students. One of them is Engage New York. They've tried Wonders, which is the textbook that we ordered to go with these new standards. We've also tried Being a Writer. Our district ordered Being a Writer to facilitate writing for our entire district just to help improve writing skills. And they've also looked at Laying the Foundation that gives that vertical teaming for AP courses. Each one of these had its benefits and its shortcomings. The teachers found that Wonders wasn't rigorous enough. Engage New York got a little redundant. Sometimes Laying the Foundation was over the kids' heads. And Being a Writer just didn't have that analytical aspect of providing evidence and formatting that 6th grade students need. So they had things that they liked about each one of these curricula, but at the same time, there were shortcomings and they felt like they could do better. Throw into all of that the fact that this year, our principal decided that instead of science and social studies teachers doing social studies, that social studies would be moved to the ELA teachers. It makes sense because ELA is often more, it lends itself to social studies. But the challenge is that when I looked at the social studies standards and I reviewed the content that the teachers usually cover throughout the year, there was very little overlap. And so the ELA teachers face the challenge of combining social studies standards with ELA standards and building a curriculum that helps them do that effectively. In short, the need is for 6th grade ELA teachers at AIS to develop a curriculum that effectively covers standards for both English language arts and social studies. I spoke with the principal and our 3 6th grade ELA teachers as I started to turn over the idea for this plan. These were individual conversations, in part because of time and circumstances, but also because the principal had information that she shared with me that she hasn't yet shared with teachers, and it would be inappropriate for me to jump the gun and go out and start talking to these teachers about things they're not aware of, the changes that aren't taking place. So I took the individual conversations that I had with everyone and used them to develop this plan. I decided to use the backwards design model with this continuous improvement plan. Backward design is a method of designing educational curriculum by setting goals before choosing instructional methods and forms of assessment. Backward design of curriculum typically involves 3 stages. Identify the results desired, determine acceptable levels of evidence that support that the desired results have occurred, and design activities that will make desired results happen. For the 6th grade ELA teachers at Athens Intermediate School, that first step would start with the standards. What standards do you want the kids to accomplish? And that would be clustered, those standards would be clustered, the ELA standards and social studies standards, clustering them together so that you have standards that lend themselves to each other. So first task is reviewing the standards and clustering them together. The second task of my curriculum improvement plan was determining what evidence looked like. What would it look like if a student mastered these standards? What skills would they have to have? What things would they be able to do? And once they determine how the standards would be clustered, what skills would be important from each cluster, and when they would cover those clusters, then they go back and input activities based on what skills the students need. I chose this method because I felt it would be less overwhelming to teachers when you are practically throwing your curriculum out of the window and starting from scratch. It's easier to just put it all aside, think about the student needs, and then add activities back in than it is to start going, wow, where can a novel study of Hatchet fit in with these standards? Or where would this activity that I love fit in with what I do? So I thought it would be better to kind of throw out the entire curriculum, especially since it's so pieced together for the sixth grade ELA teachers, and then add content back in as it was necessary. Analysis and evaluation are tricky with this plan because, as I stated earlier, it's for future implementation. There's information that our sixth grade teachers don't have yet, but I felt as a part of the school team, it would be more practical for me to start a plan that the teachers can actually use than just, jump through the hoops for a project. This will take place. The goals were have your clusters by the end of June, and by the first of the school year, by the first day of the school year, teachers would have at least their first 9 weeks activities outlined. As always, the effectiveness of any curriculum is in the data. Evaluation would be based on student performance. Have they grown over the course of the year? Have they learned both those social studies and those ELA standards? And that would be evidenced through standardized testing like performance series that we do 3 times a year at our school. In conclusion, this project was done to benefit the 6th grade ELA teachers as they transitioned from so many different curriculum to really building their own curriculum. They're empowering. I think that's empowering. And they have all the tools that they need to be successful. And I hope this curriculum improvement plan will help them do that. Thank you so much for your time.